fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Good afternoon, everybody, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope you're having a good one here in December. We're going to talk today about a tool that is getting introduced that I'm very excited about, that I got to help, be part of the team, I guess. Even though I didn't do any of the coding, be very clear, I didn't code a single thing. But myself and my alliance were able to contribute a lot to it. So I'm very excited for it because we've needed something like this for a long time with a lot of usability for those with territory. But real quick, we got to talk about an addition to the event store. Finally, the overlords have relented, and now you can do something with all those 5-year anniversary tokens you were saving up. You can turn them in for event store currency in the event store. Now, are you getting a ton of currency? No, you're not, but everything is more, right? More is more. We say that. I would still say this is a lackluster end to what was a very, very, very disappointing 5-year anniversary, but we've talked about that enough. At least we're getting something for them, so that's a positive, and go make sure you get those turned in, as this will last throughout the rest of it, the event store. But keep in mind that this is at the end, so maybe you weren't going to pay attention to it, and you can actually get rid of all the currency, which is actually pretty nice. It can actually get rid of all of it instead of just like they're being redeemed for 5s and 10s. So appreciate them throwing in something there so we can kind of catch up. So let's talk territory real quick. So the new tool that we're going to show you is all based around territory. And with territory seasons being a thing, planning has now once again become something that a lot of folks have to really do when you're going through your territories. You can see that my alliance here, I recently just kind of changed the territory that we are after. And you've seen us be in several different positions over the past several months. So what the purpose of the tool is to take this, as in if you're a leader of an alliance or you're even just a member, see where the territories are, see what services are, see what it costs to maintain them, and even help with planning. So without further ado, here you get it from Gherkin himself. Pretty cool dude. The pickle is territory.lol, because why not that as a domain? So this is a really unique and cool tool. Now, if I was looking for the link pinned in the comment section, this is also, I'll be glad to share it out on my Discord. If you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Gherkin, and we'll go over any details with you. And if you have, recommendations. So the basics of how it works is pretty, in my opinion, simple, but don't let that simpleness confuse you. It definitely took time to put together. So shout out to them for doing that. So let's start with Origin Services. This is actually a list of all the services and systems. You can get an idea of how they work and what they are if you weren't familiar with them already. So we'll go ahead and kind of like let that pass, because I think most of y'all have a basic understanding of that. Now, one thing that we did have to plug in is you will select what time zone you're in. So for example, if you're in the EU, y'all's times right there, you can choose, as well as the US. And now this is just going to be the cost calculator part of this. And I think this is probably what the average player would probably use the most, for a reason you'll see in a second. So I'm actually going to do an old set of territory. This is what IA did before, and we had this, a couple months ago. But the first thing that it gives you is this right here. And this is what I think the average player is going to want to know the most, is immediately I can see, based on my time zone, when the services, or I'm sorry, when the actual defenses / capturing occur. So this is big for me to understand where I need to be, what time, because I'm really bad about that. So if you come down here, you'll also see the cost, and you can also hover over and get more descriptions on each individual ability. Now, if we hit show particles, you can also see what particles are available. They are color coded, and then you can go through and just, again, if we want to do this, it's going to tell me how much refined oxygen I need to spend to make that happen, right? This is our service cost calculator. We're also giving us I would say, a pretty good idea of what you're going to be able to have. For example, the ISS Jelly Constructor, which, again, activating that service has a cost, but we now know what's there. And then, of course, there's the Monavine. Now, this is just the basic cost calculator. There's actually a capture and defense planner as well to go along with this one. So pay attention to the note up above so that you can make sure that you're putting it in right. Activate expert mode, you can remove the restrictions of maximum 5 systems per alliance. That's just if you wanted to go a little bit of crazy. Generally speaking, I'm going to go ahead and make it US. And I'm going to add a couple of alliances in. I'm going to add IA. I'm going to add IVETS. And I'm going to add in a couple, right? Just for the sake of it. Shout out to Feds. Just going back. Honestly, we're gonna go even further. We're gonna do IR, my old alliance from like 5 years ago. All right, so now what we do is we select one of these, and I showed y'all where my alliance territory currently is. So it's just a reminder, this is my alliance territory as it sits right now. So I would then take this same thing and I'm going to kind of copy and paste it into that by simply clicking the button. So I'm going to put this back on here and you see, well, I've selected it. And that also is now showing me a summary of that alliance and where we are going, as in like the times and the weeks, etc. We can also click show recurring defenses so we know when we have to do that in week 2. Now, this is for capturing, so the order of how you would capture this. Let's also say that you are running multiple alliances. Maybe you're part of a coalition, or maybe you're part of a big alliance that has a second alliance for lower level players. Let's just say that you wanted them to be close by. Okay, well, we're going to give IVET these services right here. Well, now I've actually got a summary of both, and I've got a summary of them together. What if, for whatever reason, we wanted to track, 3 alliances? Let's get really crazy. We're going to have IR be up here and do one of the ones that I always used to love was the crab. So now we got all these friends are connected, and we've got my crab. I love the crab. I just have always enjoyed the crab. So there's IA. You can see we've got our various, this is what I'm going to have access to, plus services. See this over here for IVET, and now IR. And this is all of the summary, and then we can click reoccurring defenses that'll happen throughout. So this is now letting your alliance see immediately where your territories are, when the defense is, what plans you might have for capturing, and how you want to, as a leader, maybe work out, well, what exactly do we want to do? Now, again, there's also the defense planner. A little bit different. Generate a structured schedule for systems that have already been captured, provide you with a clear output with dates arranged chronologically for one or more alliances. Similar to what we were doing before, but now we're simply going to do it based on, instead of capturing, the focus is defending. So we'll do the same thing that we just kind of did right there. We're just going to take this, click, just to acknowledge where all those were. All right, you got to have valid paths. All right, so there we go. Here's our summary. And this just is mostly focusing on when the defenses are going to happen. And that would be the point. You remember the box that we just checked on the capture for reoccurring. Well, now this is just, if this is where you are established, this is your defense schedule. You can have this posted as an alliance leadership right in your Discord, or even have the basics of this just as easy to see in your alliance announcement menu. You can't copy paste a picture, obviously, but it does give you the immediate, this is exactly when things are happening for us. And again, we have slotted this to have timetables for different things. This is an early thing that myself and Anders ran into because Gherkin is actually from the EU. So remembering that they have different times of when things happen is important. So this is the general how-to. This is what it is. This is how it works. The territory calculator from Gherkin, or Gherkin's Terry helper. So you have all these in terms of understanding how things work and getting a description of the calculator. If you want to suggest anything, like say, hey, I would love to see this, that, or the other, feel free to come on over and check it out and hit up me in my Discord, or hit up Gherkin himself in my Discord so we can show you or answer any questions you might have, because I think it's a fantastic site. Again, it's territory.lol. Really easy to remember. It's got bright flashing Christmas lights at the front once you get to the homepage. And a couple things that we're already talking about that we've had in like beta versions of this is when you do the cost calculator, just have, full displays of that, like the summary sheets. All these things are different things that are being talked about, and all of your support is definitely welcome. Hope you enjoy this new tool. I'm very excited because with Territory becoming more active for a lot, I know many of you are going to comment immediately like, oh, it's not more active for us. We hate Territory. Well, Territory seasons, better or worse, truly has led to more Territory activity for most servers. So because of that, tools like this, I think, are extremely important. So shout out again to them for creating it. And if you have any questions, as always, comment down below. Live long and plunder. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And yeah, we're wrapping it up again.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.